from FAU in May of 2016 with a major in business management for you business majors out there. He also minored in hospitality management and had a concentration in leadership. Andres was an orientation leader in 2013 and participated in the Leadership Institute in 2013. Andres also became a member of the Association of Latin American Students his first semester and moved up the ranks from secretary to vice president to eventually president. Andres also assisted in the launch of the Urban Male Initiative at FAU in 2014. Now, without further ado, representing the critical thinking and problem solving skill, help me in welcoming Andres to the stage. Yeah.
Good afternoon, FAU. Good afternoon. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, FAU students. I am a proud FAU alum of Florida Atlantic University. I did graduate here in 2016. I'm currently the HR generalist for Venture Tech Solutions. We do provide HR services for over 9 organizations and companies, ranked as the top places to work in South Florida according to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat stories. Check your sources. We do have companies in the financial industry, in the tech industry, and also a horse farm in Parkland. I'm glad to be here in front of you today to talk about my experience here at FAU, the skills I learned, and also how they help me today. So there are many skills, as they mentioned earlier today, of what employers look for. Critical thinking and problem solving are one of them. So as the definition shows, it exercises sound reasoning to analyze issues, make decisions, and overcome problems. Sounds easy, right? Maybe, maybe not. So back in elementary school, I had no clue I wanted to be in HR. I didn't know what HR stood for. I didn't know how to spell HR. But I did have dreams of becoming a bus driver, a limo driver, anything that involved driving a vehicle. So when I was in elementary school, however, you learn the basic skills. Once you go into middle school, you become more advanced, like what a frog looks like on the inside. That's what you want to think about before or after you go to lunch. Once you go into high school, you start to see different examples of how to be in the workforce, and you have conversations about higher education. When in high school, I was involved in extracurricular activities, community service. Anybody in here on the track team? Baseball. Spanish Honor Society. Anyone a Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino student here? That's what I'm talking about. There's the energy I was looking for. Only took me about 2 minutes, right? Besides Spanish Honor Society and sports, I was a band geek in high school. But I was the #1 band geek. Band captain, trombone player, jazz band, drum corps. You know the deal. Thank you. But what I did learn in and out of the classroom and in the extracurricular activities is different skills like critical thinking. A problem comes up. You're having difficulty working with other people, different personalities. You have to find a way to overcome them. But once I stood on this stage at FAU, once I was in the classrooms here and involved, that's where I really grew, where my knowledge boosted. When I was an FAU orientation leader, how many of you met an orientation leader during your course of becoming an FAU owl? Yes. Made you break the ice with random strangers for 2 days. Woke you up in the morning at 8 a.m. so that we can learn about the controller's office and financial aid. Gave you a tour under the South Florida sun for about 2 hours. 98 degrees without humidity. Right? Sounds great? Well, I had a great time as an orientation leader. I got to learn how to meet over 3,000 students in one summer, also transfer students from other universities. How do you work with different personalities, someone you have never met before? I had to use critical thinking, use problem solving, so that way I could have a good time as well as make sure you have a great experience here. When I was in the Association of Latin American Students, I was the secretary, I was the vice president, and the president. We hosted different events, we hosted meetings, we had to make flyers to promote our events. But how do you make things happen? Do you spend half of your budget on just flyers to post around the university? We had to think as an organization, as a leadership group, how do we make Association of Latin American Students grow and make sure FAU knows what ALAS stands for? Does anybody know what ALAS means in Spanish? It means wings. FAU, wings, owls. It's all connected here. So when I was involved in the Association of American Students and when I went to leadership in 2013, I learned how to grow as a person, as an individual. I had to think critically about my own goals and careers. Do you know what leadership is? I had to think outside of the box and be open-minded about leadership. Also, when I was in the National Society of Leadership and Success, it was the same thing. I had to think critically of myself and how to prep for the workforce. Now, with my involvement, it helped me grow. My networking skills, my interviewing skills, they really did play a big role. But critical thinking is what helped me get to the next step. Show my boss that even though I may not have the work experience, but I have the skills that you are looking for in order to make your organization from good to great. The Career Center and the FAU faculty are here for you. The Career Center hosts different events almost every week to every other week to bring the outside world to you or to help you get connected with the outside world. Get to see my smiling face at a recruiting table, right? I'm not getting as many laughs. It's a little weird. At FAU, probably by now it's about 400 plus organizations here on campus you can get involved in. It could be as far as for a culture group, religion. It could be a sport, or it could just be just any interest that you can think of. You can start an organization, the water polo club, underwater basket weaving. Whatever you like to do, you can make it happen here. Now, I was involved on campus as well as a commuter student. I live 30 minutes away. Sometimes that commute from 30 minutes turned to an hour and a half, being in South Florida traffic. And I also worked off campus about 30 hours a week. You can make this FAU experience one of the best experiences you'll ever have. But you have to make sure that you get involved. Start as early as you can. Use the classroom experience that you have, any organization experience, leadership experience, so that way you can grow as an individual and make things happen. Now, at Venture Tech Solutions, we'll be here. We'll help recruit as much as we can so that way you owls can soar high and find a great landing spot at one of our companies here at Venture Tech Solutions. Thank you very much for letting me be part of your Saturday afternoon. Go Owls!